The forest of Talvrin was the quietest place I had ever known. At least, that was what the colony scouts had told me. Nothing lives out there, Commander Hargrove had said before sending me on a routine patrol. Just trees, rocks, and wind. But in my experience, whenever humans declared a place empty, it usually meant we simply didn't understand what lived there yet. Talvrin was an alien world orbiting a pale blue star nearly 30 light-years from Earth. The colony here was still young, barely 3 years old. We had built metal habitats, communication towers, and research labs, but most of the planet remained untouched. The forest stretched endlessly, its trees towering higher than skyscrapers back on Earth. Their trunks were smooth and silver, reflecting the sunlight like mirrors, and their leaves shimmered in shades of violet and dark blue. Even the air felt strange.
Cool. Clean.
Almost too quiet. I walked slowly through the undergrowth, my rifle slung across my shoulder, my boots crunching softly against the crystal-like grass. My name is Daniel Mercer. Scout. Explorer. Survivor. And on that day, I thought my patrol would be just another uneventful walk through alien wilderness. I was wrong. The sound in the forest. It started as a faint noise, a rustle, then a soft gasp. I froze instantly. Training kicked in. My hand moved to the rifle as my eyes scanned the forest. The colony sensors had never detected large predators on Talvrin, but alien ecosystems were unpredictable. Something might have been hiding from our scanners. The sound came again. A weak movement. Somewhere behind a cluster of tall crystalline ferns. I moved cautiously, stepping between the glowing plants until I reached the clearing. And then I saw her. At first, my mind refused to process what I was looking at, because lying in the grass was not an animal. It was a woman, an alien woman. She was curled on her side, breathing unevenly, her pale silver skin almost glowing against the violet grass. Her hair flowed like liquid starlight, long strands of shimmering white cascading over her shoulders. But what caught my attention most were her eyes. They were wide with fear, and they were staring directly at me. Fear in her eyes. The moment she saw me clearly, her entire body stiffened. Her breathing quickened. Her gaze locked onto the rifle in my hands. Then something unexpected happened. She slowly closed her eyes. Not in calm, but in surrender, like someone accepting death. Her lips moved slightly, and although I couldn't understand her language, the emotion behind her words was unmistakable.
Fear.
Terror. And resignation. It took me a moment to realize what she believed. She thought I was going to kill her. Or worse, eat her. The thought was absurd, yet heartbreaking. I immediately lowered my rifle and stepped back. "Hey," I said gently, raising my hands.
Easy.
"I'm not going to hurt you." Of course, she didn't understand English. But tone mattered. Body language mattered. She slowly opened one eye, then the other. And when she saw my empty hands, confusion replaced some of the fear in her expression. The wound. That was when I noticed the blood. Dark blue blood staining the grass beneath her. A deep cut ran across her side, and her breathing was shallow. She was badly injured. "All right," I murmured to myself. That explains the fear. In the wild, a wounded creature expected predators. And I probably looked like one.
Tall. Armed.
Unknown. I knelt slowly beside her, moving carefully so I wouldn't scare her again. Her eyes followed every movement. I opened my medical pack. Inside were field bandages, disinfectant spray, and basic healing gel designed for humans. Whether it would work on alien biology was another question entirely. But doing nothing wasn't an option. I pointed at the wound, then at the bandage, trying to communicate. Her expression tightened. For a moment, I thought she might panic. Instead, she closed her eyes again, but this time not in surrender. More like reluctant trust. First contact. Cleaning the wound was delicate work. Her blood had a faint glow to it, like bioluminescent ink. Fortunately, the cut wasn't as deep as it had first looked, probably caused by a sharp rock or a fall. Still painful. Still dangerous if infected. When the antiseptic touched the wound, she gasped sharply. Her hand grabbed my wrist instinctively. Her skin was cool to the touch. Her grip was surprisingly strong. But she didn't push me away. Instead, she looked at me with something new in her eyes. Curiosity. Maybe even disbelief. Because the predator she had expected wasn't devouring her. He was helping her. I finished wrapping the bandage and leaned back slightly. There, I said quietly. You're going to be okay. Of course, she still didn't understand the words. But she seemed to understand the intention. Her shoulders relaxed slightly. The language barrier. We sat there for several minutes. Neither of us moving. Neither of us speaking. The forest wind whispered through the glowing leaves above us. Finally, she spoke. A soft stream of melodic sounds. Her language was unlike anything I had heard before. It sounded almost musical. I shook my head apologetically.
Sorry, I said.
No idea what you're saying. She studied my face carefully. Then slowly, she pointed at herself. Elora. Her name. I nodded. Elora. Then I pointed at my chest. Daniel. She repeated it softly. Danielle. The way she said it made me smile. For the first time since I found her, Elora smiled too. A small, cautious smile. But a real one. A dangerous truth. After resting for about 20 minutes, Elora tried to stand. She managed it with difficulty. Her wound still hurt, but she was determined. She gestured toward the deeper forest, then back toward me, then shook her head urgently. It took a moment to understand. She didn't want me to follow.
Why?
Her answer came quickly. A distant roar echoed through the forest.
Deep.
Powerful. Predatory. Every instinct in my body went on alert. Elora's eyes widened in fear. She grabbed my arm and whispered something rapidly. I didn't need translation to understand the message. The real predator of Talvarin was coming. And it was close. The hunt. The creature burst into the clearing moments later. It was enormous.
6 legs.
Dark, armored scales. Rows of razor-sharp teeth. Easily the size of a small truck. The moment it saw Elora, it roared again. This thing had wounded her earlier, and it had come back to finish the hunt. Elora stumbled backward, but I stepped forward, rifle raised. The predator lunged. I fired. The rifle's energy burst struck the creature's shoulder, sending sparks of burning scales into the air. It roared in fury, then charged again. 2 more shots. One missed. The second struck its eye. The beast collapsed with a thunderous crash. Silence returned to the forest. Slowly, I lowered the rifle. Elora stared at the fallen monster. Then at me. The expression on her face was something I would never forget.
Shock. Awe.
And something deeper. Because the predator she had feared earlier had just saved her life. A new understanding. Elora walked slowly toward me. Her movements were careful, respectful. She looked at the rifle, then at my face. Then she did something unexpected. She placed her hand gently over my heart. Her voice trembled as she spoke. I didn't know the words, but the meaning was clear. Gratitude.
Trust.
And the beginning of something neither of us understood yet. The journey ahead. I helped Elora walk deeper into the forest. Toward her people. Toward a world humans had never seen. I didn't know what awaited me there. Her species might fear humans. They might reject me, or they might see what Elora had seen. That day in the forest changed everything, because the alien girl who once mistook me for her predator now looked at me like something else entirely. A protector, a friend, and perhaps something even more important. As the glowing trees of Talvarin stretched endlessly before us, I realized something. This was no longer just a patrol mission. It was the beginning of a story that would change two worlds forever. And it all started with fear in the eyes of an alien girl who believed I was the monster.